Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. We're producing this episode for GoodCrowd.info. Our guests today are the founder and chairman of Kicachi and the CEO of Kicachi. That's Candice Pascoal and Tayana Degamon. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having me.
I've been practicing for the last 5 minutes trying to say Tiana's name right. I hope I didn't butcher it completely, Tiana, but thank you very much for taking the time to be on the show today. Listen, things are going well in Brazil for Kicachi. Candice, you're the founder. You remember the days when it was just a startup. You were on the show back in those days. Tell us a little bit about how well it's going for you.
Yes, I remember, and thank you for having us again, Devin. It was interesting because the last time we spoke, Kickante we used to have about 200 campaigns a month. We had just gotten to 200 campaigns from zero in about maybe 4 months. And now we actually closed last month with close to, how much was that, Tayana?
It was over 3,000.
3,000 campaigns. So that's a major growth, and we're really happy about that because I don't know if you recall, but one of the main points that we have always had is that we didn't want just to do crowdfunding. We want to really help Brazilians. We feel that Brazil has a great number of really creative and really talented people, and we just don't have the same access to funds in Brazil as there are in places like the US or Europe, places that I have been for a long time. So that was the main mission, and yes, and we're accomplishing that with Tayana as the CEO, and we're really kicking Brazil.
So Tayana, tell us a little bit about how you came on board and why. Why did you accept this new challenge?
So I've been working in the startup world for a while in Brazil since I was 15. So it's been 15 years that I'm involved with digital businesses, and I've always seen them grow, from scratch into some of them really big companies where, I had the opportunity to make exits and things like this. But Candice had been talking to me for a while, emailing back and forth. And when I actually saw what Kicachi was doing, I thought it was so amazing in the sense that, it is really something that is worth waking up for. Every day we're using technology, which is something I love. That's, what I'm specialized on, but we're using technology as a way to connect people and really help people. So every project that we have on the platform has, the potential to cause a big impact in a lot of people. So that's really what caught me to join Kicachi. All the conversations that we've had until I joined were always around, how big the business could be, of course, but especially the impact that we would make in Brazil and how many people we would be able to help. And I think that's what we do. And not only me, but we have about 20 people on the team now. And everyone is really committed to that. Everyone is there thinking every day, what can we do today that is going to cause an impact on the country, or that is going to cause an impact on this special project, on this person, on this community. So this is something that using technology to do good is something that really caught my attention and that I'm really excited about.
Tayana, what are some of your favorite campaigns on the platform now?
Any campaign or campaigns that are more like social related.
What inspires you up? What gets you excited?
So I really like entrepreneurial campaigns. So I like when there is new technology that is developed by Brazilians or something new on the market. But I'm a big fan of the animal-related causes. So I make a lot of donations to a lot of the campaigns that we have when they are animal-related or when they are related to people's rights. So campaigns that are like in favor of how can I say this in English? But when you have problems like racism or people that are against gays or anything that is related to a person's right, to humans' right, are the causes that I really get involved in and they really help a lot. Those and the animal ones. So we just had the biggest campaign in Latin America happening. Over R$1 million to an animal sanctuary. And that was a campaign that I was really involved on and really pushing hard for it because I really like the cause. I think, you know, animals can't complain like we can, so they can't ask for help. So those are things that move me. But there are a lot, like kids-related causes, cancer. There's so much. It's hard to pick only a few.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's wonderful. Candice, you know, we got an interesting question online from hang on here, getting just a little bit.
Luis Enrique Gama, right?
But yes, I want to ask you about this question from Luis Enrique Gama, who asked about what you think about equity crowdfunding in Brazil. Candice, what's your take on that?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, equity crowdfunding, as Tayana was just mentioning, we are seeing a large increase on entrepreneurial campaigns on the website, and equity crowdfunding is just the right way to go. And not only gives opportunities to startups that need small funds or large funds, but it also allows, which I think it's the coolest part of it, people who wouldn't have access to financing and being part and take part of shares in a company to finally be able to do that with a small amount. It's not yet regulated in Brazil. We are part of a group of companies which are working with the Brazilian government to try to make it possible faster. Right now, you could still do some sort of equity crowdfunding offline and sort of a document everything online, which, in my opinion, defeats a little bit the purpose. But yeah, there is that possibility. It just has the same amount of costs and delays as a regular type of funding, in which with the equity crowdfunding, we're looking at giving opportunities to people that otherwise would not be able to finance a business and would not be able to take equity on that, giving opportunities for a entrepreneur to have access to funds faster and cheaper. So we're really excited about that, and we are right now in, as I said, working with the government to see how we can make that possible faster.
Well, this is really exciting. So do you see Kicachi playing a part in that? Would you create a new company for that?
Absolutely.
Or do you hope someone else will do it?
No, absolutely. We're gonna play a part on that. It's definitely gonna have to be a different nucleo inside of the company, but that's for Tayana to think about and to conceptualize, possibly for next year. But yes, it's something we want to be part of. I mean, the main reason for Kickante is to create opportunities. And when Tayana was talking about the campaigns that she likes the most, that's what we're doing. We get as excited at Kickante, and we truly get as excited when we have the biggest campaign of Latin America, as when we have someone that needed 500 reais for medicine for their kids, and they raise funds with us. That really touches us, because suddenly we were able to reach 3,000 people in Brazil that needs funds, and they didn't have access to it in any other way. And here we are, working every day and building something that enables that. And that for us is really something that keeps us going.
That is very exciting. Now, Tayana, what's the regulatory framework for equity crowdfunding in Brazil? Can you give us some sense of the situation there?
So there is no specific regulation yet for equity crowdfunding. So the same thing that happened in the US, there was a long discussion what kind of investors are going to be able to be a part of it. In Brazil, we are still even more late on it than you were in the US like 2 years ago when I was there discussing this topic with other entrepreneurs. So the way to happen today is the same as if you were making a public offer of equity for your company. So you need to go through the same process, same documentation, same costs, and it's really expensive. And then you can put that in a platform and get the money. So in reality, it's not different from just doing it offline. That's basically the reason why we don't do it, because then we would be doing one equity crowdfunding every 3 months, and it's, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us right now, because we really want to make an impact and reach a lot of people. But I think, you know, what's going to happen is the discussions have started, they are happening, but so far we haven't reached yet an agreement on how it's going to be, exactly what the rules are going to be, and I think, there are some rules that are needed to protect both sides, to protect the company that is raising the money and to protect people who want to make contributions to that company and be a part of them. But it just can't be the same as it currently is, because then the purpose of it is gone. It's just going to make it too hard to invest on a company and too hard to get money. So as Candice said, we're estimating that it's going to take at least another year for it to be, to be more, to be regulated at least. And as soon as it's regulated, we're gonna start working into it and looking into it.
And this has been a work already of years. I mean, when we launched Kickante, we immediately joined the group working with the government to regulate equity, and this has been already 2 years. We're gonna make 2 years of Kickante this month, Devin. So
wow, very exciting. Well, listen, Candice, you have become quite a role model to a lot of people in Brazil and elsewhere. Who do you look up to? Who's your role model?
My role model. And that's always a difficult question. It's a difficult question because I admire so many people. But I would say if I have to really pick just one person that would be a role model to me, it would have to be Mother Teresa of Calcutta. I just think it's fantastic, the selfless work and the impact that she caused with so little. And I think that it's just someone that I admire, that just served and just impacted so many people. But then when I say that, I also think about a lot of fantastic entrepreneurs that I admire a lot. I think about my parents, who I also admire. I think about family members. I think about friends. So it's a very tough question to ask me because I'm just by nature admire so many different people. But yeah, if I have to pick one, I would say Mother Teresa.
That's great. Now, Tayana, what about you? Who do you look up to?
I also have a lot of people that I really like and that move me for different reasons, right? That's the thing, like different people for different reasons. But there is a Brazilian entrepreneur that I really admire called Jorge Paulo Lemann. I think he's probably almost 80 now, but he's a self-made guy, which is something that I really like about him. And he made this big fortune. He's multi-billionaire. He has had banks. He's now one of the owners of Burger King, of Heinz Ketchup, and he's from Brazil. He's from Brazil, and he did all of this. He owns Budweiser, that's a big U.S. brand, and he's Brazilian. But what I like the most about him also is that he's a big philanthropist. He has a foundation that is focused on education, and I think education is also something that we really need to look up to in Brazil. I think education is going to make a big impact. It's going to cause a lot of difference in our country. Historically, we haven't invested in education as much as we should. And I think if we start teaching our kids now, that's the only thing that is going to make Brazil a better place, 20 years, 40 years, 60 years. And he makes a lot of investments in education with this foundation. He takes, brilliant young Brazilians to Harvard, Stanford, different colleges even around the world, and then they come back and, they keep on teaching more people and expanding this network. So I think the work he does as a philanthropist today is even more relevant than anything he has done as an entrepreneur. So I think he's amazing.
That's great. Now, Tayana, tell me a little bit about why you've chosen to pursue crowdfunding as a career when you could be doing anything else.
Yeah, it's about what I said in the beginning. It's about, is there something that can make you really wanna wake up every day and sometimes not even go to bed, right? Sometimes we just don't sleep because that amount of campaigns in such a short period of time, things are going really fast. So you need to be really excited and really have the energy to do that. And I think energy is something that, you either have it or there's always something that can bring your energy down. And I think the type of work that we do is something that brings your energy up and makes you keep on going. So I think that the one thing that really made me choose crowdfunding as a career is the opportunity to connect technology with helping people. Those are the two things that I really like and that I saw were a possibility through crowdfunding.
It's like we're having a long, tough, busy day, and then suddenly we receive the news with this little girl that raised 100,000 reais, or 150,000 reais, 160, the CEO is correcting me, 160,000 reais via Kickante to get prostheses of her little hand in the US. And then you just, you just sit there and just say,
painting her nails in the
and
process.
she's saying, I can paint my nails now, and then it just gives you, it gives you fuel again to just, restart and continue and say, there is a bigger reason why I'm doing this, and there are so many people that I can reach and help, that it's a good thing to be able to use your intellect to something that just causes such a great social impact. It's just a good thing.
Now, Candice, tell me a little bit about. I want to tap into your expertise, your success, your proven track record. Everyone who's watching the show wants, among other things, to be able to have more impact, do more good in the world. Can you give us one impact hack that would help us do more good?
Yeah, I think, and I think Diana will recognize that as well. I think it's to follow your processes, to create processes that you can follow persistently and with a good amount of planning. So we are always looking not only at today or a month from now, but we're looking 6 months ahead. What do we have to do now to be in the 6 months, to be the 6 months company that we want to be? Who do we need to hire? What processes do we need to establish? Everyone in the company has established processes, and I have that even for my personal life. And I do believe in following processes consistently and persistently, because I think that allows room for creativity. And I believe that would be the main thing for me.
That's great. Well, listen, Tiana, Candice, we greatly appreciate you both taking the time to be here with us today. Tiana, maybe you would just take a minute and tell us how people who are watching can learn more about Kicachi, how they can connect with you and Candice.
Sure. So, to find out more about Kicachi, we are in every social network. So if you just look for Kicachi on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, we are there. Our website as well, Kickante.com.br, has, you can see a lot of the campaigns and everything that we are doing. And in terms of connecting with Candice, I don't know what's best for Candice. My Twitter handle is @HiDegmon, but I think using the
I think for me, yeah, no, I think for me it would be my Facebook page, not my Facebook personal profile. That wouldn't be the best one. It would be best the Facebook page, really, because I do have a good amount of people that connect with me through there, and that's great to see that.
Great. Well, fantastic. Well, ladies, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to be with us today. It's just been great, and we wish you every success in the continued work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Devin.
All right. Let's do some good.